Greetings and salutations! This is Jason Silverain, and once again I'm returning to Crusader Kings 3, and we're taking a look at Shoganate, a total conversion, and this is one of the more polished ones, I'd say. Whilst it's not quite on the scale of the Lord of the Rings one, I do think what they've done here has made a very, very atmospheric and overall quite calming to play total conversion. It's got its own little unique twists as well. Now, as you can already see, they've gone in and added clothes, hairstyles, new backgrounds. I mean, visually and with the audio, it's amazing. It's one of the best ones out there. Now, you've only got 3 start dates to pick from, which are well polished, but these are all relatively famous eras and times, but they also have individual dates for particular battles and setups with the history alongside them, which is fantastic. Now, one thing to watch out for is whilst this does have some unique events and the like, they don't really kick in until you're big enough, should I say, and I think most of them only really occur for particular generals. I've tried playing in the early years as a ruler of my own, and well, honestly, it wasn't much different from a normal Crusader King. As there are many little tweaks here and there which I'd like to show you, which are well worth looking into. Now, this is a game I've had several hours in, and as you can see, you've got all of Japan here. I do think, considering the timeline, they're probably going to include the invasion of Korea by Japan as well, which would be very interesting to see, because it's a bit of history that's often skimmed over during the games that usually cover the Sengoku era, and it's one of the main reasons Hideyoshi absolutely crumbled at the end, because he just had this invasion that went nowhere by the end of it, and he lost a lot of respect. So, if it does include that, that'd be quite good. Again, I can understand if it doesn't, because there's a lot of touchy history there that still invokes a lot of anger in some people even today. So, other things to consider. Well, the game automatically gives you... Where is it? Where is our... here we go. This one. The ability to claim throne scheme against your liege. Everybody gets this. So I feel like a lot of this is becoming a vassal and then plotting against your liege and taking his land. It seems to be pushing you towards a more very backstabbery style of playstyle, especially since all the counties and provinces only have a single castle in them, with no buildings that can be made for holds. So it does have the issue that if you don't expand in the early game, you're going to have a lot of trouble. Now, I know I'm going through this quite quickly, but one of the little things I would like to point out is the changes to the descriptions of the lifestyle focuses. There's a handful of these that have been changed as well, but not many. Oh yes, we've got Shinobi over here, which is very nice, which is good fun. And again, it's just minor tweaks, just to give it that atmosphere that's nice. Culture-wise, we have quite a few, though there's not much difference between them. I mean, as you see, each area's got its own little cultures, so the north is the biggest difference from the rest of it. So you've got this heritage, which is tribal unity, storytellers, winter warriors, and then in the south, it's more like martial admiration, castle keepers, recognition of talent, hill dwellers. Now, as I'll flick along, see, there we go, mountain homes, mountaineers, forest folk. Oh, I guess he's made that new tradition himself. That's nice to see the AI actually do that for once, so excuse me. Yeah, so culture-wise, you've not got much wiggle room, but in a way, that's alright. I've not had much problems with culture as well, because that's one of the things with the new update, is it's taking a lot of getting used to the new culture system, and it can be a lot more difficult to expand than it was originally. Now, the next thing we want to take a look at is faith. Now, faiths are pretty similar in this one because Shinto is the major religion, and many of these are just minor variations of it, until once again you head to the north, which is more pagan-like, and as you can see, unreformed Eastern Pagan, unreformed Eastern Pagan, and then you've got organised religion down here. And again, there's a few little variations, and I do think that the fact that the religion in this one is so simple, and there is only a handful of holy sites, so they are pretty well scattered around the place. This actually promotes you to make your own religion if you wish. I didn't really feel the urge because I quite like the belief system. It's relatively okay. You can just, you've got the very powerful make one of your sons or just people in your court monks just to get rid of their claims easy enough. Inner Journey's a fun one that doesn't get used very often, though I'd kind of like the Inner Journey one. If you could get those bonuses to actually have pluses to learning and ancestor worship, I mean, that one's pretty solid as well. I mean, if there's any alterations you'd want to make to this, maybe... Ooh. Oh, wait. Same-sex relations accepted. That's quite nice. Again, accurate. Now, before I get too sidetracked, one of the things I was mentioning earlier is all the provinces... Sorry? All the provinces only have one castle in them. Now, this may normally cause issues, but a lot of these provinces have very special, well, things attached to them. As you can see, you've got the mining settlement, you've got the large ports, and these add up. Again, it does make it very difficult to sort of remove an entrenched opponent, more so than usual, but I don't know, I'm rather liking this, and the game is almost fast-tracked into very quick invasions, as a lot of places have very high development. Nearly everywhere starts with at least some buildings, and you don't have to worry about inheritance too much, as nearly everywhere, well, the oldest child inherits everything. And speaking of the court, as you can see right here, a lot of my court have very high stats. Now, one of them is my son, and he's only on 21 because he's currently got a lifestyle. He was about, what, 18 before? But going through, I have noticed in this particular game, there is a lot of individuals with the intelligent trait or the beautiful trait, and there's a lot of high stewardship and occasionally high martial. There's still the average of like 12 to 15 across the world, but there's far more of that than your typical plebs that you'd get in some Crusader King modules. Which is a very nice change from the Lord of the Rings one, where everyone was absolutely flimming useless bar a handful of people. I mean, actually having a court that's, well, semi-competent, you still get people like this. But it's mostly the ladies, actually, I've noticed. Mostly because they don't get educated properly by the AI. So you will probably get a reasonable court. But again, remember, everyone gets a potential chance to betray you and take your land and have a claim on it. So that's something to watch out for. And there's also new little trinkets. Now, there was a very good one I passed on to my son, which was just 5% learning experience for your lifestyle, which is really nice. I just realised I've said that completely wrong, but forgive me. I'm still fighting the hay fever, and I'm a little confused at the moment. But yes, I just love the fact that they're still going in and adding more and more stuff. This is still in development, and there is more planned. So if you'd like to see what the future holds for this one, I will put a link in the description to its Steam's workshop page. And before I forget, they are adding more and more traits in. One of the nice ones they have is these family lines, which you can inherit, and you can have multiple ones going on over time. So hopefully at the end of my game, I will have every single prestigious bloodline in my family, and on a person. I would love to do that as sort of a personal goal. I have been playing around with a few ideas, which I want to do as like simple, I'm going to spend a few hours on this and see how far I can get. There's also another thing, is once you've gotten at least 5 provinces, you can start joining the Imperial Court, and there'll be a few decisions here, and you start working up the ranks in the Imperial Court. I haven't had the chance to play around with that yet, but that's quite nice. It's more prestige, more domain limit, and I think that is the lowest rank down there. What the high ranks give you, I don't know, but I suspect it's probably going to be impressive. See if anyone's got it. No, it's just people with the low rank at the moment, and they own quite a lot of land. And as you can see, there's a lot of genius trait kicking around. Again, uncommon in the normal AI. But I think I've chatted on a bit too much today, so I will catch you next time, and I hope this interests you. Again, like the Lord of the Rings Total Conversion, if you do want me to do a playthrough of this and have a go, let me know. It will be my pleasure. But I will see you next time.